I don't think I've ever been close enough to these before because they're not normally at my height. And I said the other day in a vlog that I could smell blossom, and it's these passion flower. They're really lovely. I feel a bit guilty picking it, but they just last a day. It's such a shame. They just last a day, but it's quite prolific over the plant. Um, so I thought I'd pick one. And it bloody flies. So we were out last night at the Fête de Musique, which I hadn't realised it. Well, I hadn't taken it in because it's not something that we would have deliberately gone to. It was just me wanting to go out. At the moment, I'm just not feeling in the mood for cooking, and so it was like, well, let's go out, and I can have steak. I hadn't had steak for quite a while, and so we went out. I've been bitten. I've got two really horrible bites on my right shoulder, which are driving me crazy. I've got a bite on this here, which is driving me crazy. I've got some antihistamines, but they make me really drowsy, and I don't need that right now because I am actually feeling better, and I don't want to feel knocked off again because I was feeling for 2 or 3 days like, couldn't open my eyes properly and feeling, and I think it was stress, and I think probably more stress than I realised about the upcoming appointment for Mark and what's to come. So having moved away from the appointment and know where we're at, and Mark moving on and feeling more positive, has made a big difference, and I think maybe that's why I'm feeling better. It might also be that I'm just, not so tired after days and days and days and weeks and months. So that feels good. So I do feel more awake and much better. I went down last night to put the chickens away and found 7 eggs. So they've started laying again after that big mass of eggs I picked up when we came back. They've started laying again, and I'm really pleased. But I picked up the eggs, hadn't got anything with me to pick them up with. Normally we use a big a spoon on a pole, and I hadn't got that with me, so I just reached in and picked them up and sorted them out and whatever, brought them back up, held them next to me, 7 eggs next to me, so that I didn't drop them, and got indoors and realised that I'd got red mite on me. It was like, oh fuck. Red mite are so tiny, so tiny. I do think pigeons are nesting up there. Somebody's just flown over. Red mite are so tiny you can't always see them, but you can feel them, and they get round in your hairline, and you can feel something, and you keep knocking it, and it doesn't get rid of it. It just moves it. So I had to go up and have a shower, and I've put my dress in the freezer. The dress that I was wearing, I've put in the freezer. I'll leave that in there for a couple of days, and hopefully that will sort that out. And I went down this morning to let the chickens out, and I put a load of diatom down, and when I go down tonight, I will have the long spoon on a pole, and I'll also dress appropriately. So I'm going to cover up all my I'm going to cover up my arms and around my neck, and because it's just the top half of me that was the problem, so I'm just going to cover myself up. So it's little wonder that the black hen was, her comb had gone so white, where she'd been there for so long, being bled by red mite. I said that, and of course because I moved them out of there to break them from being broody, and they spend a lot more time away from there. I didn't really do anything about it, but now they've gone back in there and they're sitting to lay an egg. I needed to do something, so I put diatom down. I threw diatom at the hens. They tried to get away from it. It probably wasn't enough, but I just thought if I chuck some on them, they're going to be preening it off and moving it around. So I'll do some more tomorrow. Yeah, so eggs. I'm pleased about that. I made a cake because I had eggs. So I made a cake this afternoon. I've invited our neighbour round for goûter tomorrow afternoon, so I'll offer him cake or biscuits. He may not eat the cake, chocolate cake. He may not eat that, so I'll get an alternative. We need to go out tomorrow for chicken food. We decided today do nothing. We'd have a day of going nowhere, doing nothing, because we haven't had that for a long time. We didn't have that last week, and of course we've not. There's definitely a pigeon nesting somewhere. I've just made it jump. It's been landing up on this pergola. I can see it when I'm sitting at my desk. Uh, yeah, so I'm currently uploading Mark talking about his thoughts regarding his upcoming surgery, and the tiny little black and white beetly thing there. So I'm currently uploading that. It's taking ages. Very slow upload today. That might just be 4G. There's been lots of storms around. There've been lots of storm activity over France, and we were forecast storms. I'm being distracted by the pigeons. Forecast storms today, which didn't actually materialise, but I did hear storms overnight, and there are storms further east of us. So they're both sitting up there having a chat now. They're just sort of on the telephone line trying to decide what to do. What are we gonna do? That lady's there. We can't go to our nest. I better go in a minute. So yeah, it's been stormy, so that might be bothering the 4G. I don't know. So I'm currently uploading that, and that's it really. What are we going to do? We're going to go out for chicken food tomorrow. We need chicken food. I need to make sure I've got everything sorted before Mark isn't able to, although, as I said, I can buy it in the Intermarché and I can buy it in smaller amounts. But whilst we can and whilst he's able, we'll get a big one and fill up our dustbin. Okay, I'm going to go in and let the pigeons come back to their nest, if in fact they are nesting. I'm going to have a proper look, but not right now. Okay, à plus.